There it is. There it is. I gotta turn this off. There it is.
There it is.
You're at the Broncos Booze Up. You got your ass in the jackpot with us here.
It's the Ocho episode.
Yeah, week 8. That intro is great. It needs to be like a half phrase shorter or something. You know what I mean? Like the intro is just a tiny bit too long before the names kick in, because you want to hear the names, and so we'll work on that. Maybe I can edit it down a little bit. We'll see. So, but hey, welcome in everybody to week 8 to the Broncos Booze Up, and have we got a show for you? This is quite a big one, and I've been dying to talk about it. I was like, maybe we should move this up. Maybe we should move the show up a little bit and get it in early. Maybe we could do that from now on. But because the excitement, the thrill of it all was just amazing. And of course, we're talking about the Broncos beating the Giants in dramatic fashion, and we're going to talk all about that. But Captain, how are you? What I forgot to tell you, wine is fun, but whiskey's quicker. You know the line?
I do know the line. I felt bad. I did enjoy the GIFs earlier if I'm bringing juice box to the party. But you're not drinking juice boxes tonight.
No, it is a juice box of some sort. It is from a box. So listen, I got this one time. Nate Kreckman, the famous Nate Kreckman, Nate Kreckman,
friend of the show,
who's on the radio here in Denver. It has his own show on Altitude Sports. I mentioned box wine, and he was like, "Oh God, box wine." I said, "Look, this isn't Franzia, dude. They make really nice box wines now, and they're Italian, they're French, and they're pretty good. So, and you can get a nice box of it, and it'll last you for a while sipping off it. So, yes, this is from a box. I'm not ashamed to say so.
5 liters of fun, my friend.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I would say I'm joining you on this journey, but we have some overseas friends. Well, we had an overseas friend in town from London, England.
Ooh.
And she flies for our good friends at British Airways, hopefully sponsor of the show soon. But she brought me some Brewdog. I'll try and throw it up. Speedbird OG. It's a transatlantic IPA at 4.5%, just to make sure I'm sharp-witted.
Excellent. That's good. Did you apologize for having the Jaguars play there twice a year?
No, but I did not apologize for the Broncos win in London.
That's true, even though it was ugly. But yeah, we got to hate. And look at before, my notes were like scribbled on a little piece of paper, and I could barely read them, so I had to put my glasses on. Look at what I got tonight. I got a full page here.
I wish I could turn my phone around and show you my notes, because you and we're going to have a sparring battle today, my friend.
Well, that's good. So I remember there was a time when I was really in the groove with doing the South Stands Denver fan cast where I wouldn't write a single note, and I would come in, and maybe some people think that's obvious by my performance, but I would just go, and I didn't need anything for notes wise. But that was many years ago, and now I need a little outline just to kind of keep myself afloat, let's say. So
right.
So it's okay. But so really, we got to talk about the major thing: the Broncos 33, the Giants 32. What an amazing game it was. The over under was 40, I believe, and I think I said, oh, it's going to go over that. They're going to score 20 some points. Little did I know they scored a lot more than that. And it was pretty amazing. And I just want your impressions first, and then I'm going to tell you a couple things, a couple of the emotions that I went through while the game was going on.
All right. So I'm going to situate my microphone right here so I can make this like a Christmas time storytelling, if you will.
Okay.
A little ASMR for everybody in Broncos land. The first 3 quarters were absolutely atrocious.
Yep.
I sat down, watched the game, very excited, looking forward to proving you wrong about the outlandish offensive prowess our team would have. And they had none of that. I literally defaulted to, I can't believe I'm going to turn the game on to my TV to the right and I'm going to play Battlefield 6 to my left until the fourth quarter arose. And like everybody, all of a sudden, the game got a lot more interesting. I got to tell you, This to me goes back to what I said at the very beginning when we started this show, which is this team has grit, 33 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. I don't care how you win, you win. I don't like winning in the fourth quarter. I don't like winning by 1 point. I don't like winning by a missed field goal. I don't like losing by a missed field goal. But 5-2 at this point in the game in the first place. Say what you say will say about Sean Payton. Say what you say about Bo Nix. You will say about this Denver defense, but they are finding a way to win. It is exciting. I don't like that it's causing me a coronary. I liked it better when John Fox was blowing people out by 50 points. It's not where we're at today, but I still loved it.
So I don't think it was 33 unanswered points. I think it was like more like 12 or like 12 on it. They scored 12 more points. Giants did. It went back and forth a little bit, but the Broncos definitely scored like a bunch that were unanswered. But I don't think it was like 33.
No, it wasn't back to back. You're right. I over dramatized a bit.
Just for clarity's sake, let's make sure we.
Show's not about stats and facts, John.
That's true. So yes, all that's true, but amazing. Like people are saying, this is the greatest game since they won the Super Bowl. And it might be, because it's been a long time since there's been a really good game. Like, they've had some where like they almost beat the Chiefs, and that was like, hey, that was great. It could be, because it was incredible. The whole thing is they shouldn't have been in that position.
No.
This is the Giants. They should have at least beat them, fairly handily. Mm-hmm. To be down 19-0 and going into the fourth quarter is ridiculous, against this team. They look sick, disinterested, whatever you want to say. Pretty ridiculous. Great game. Like when I stand up, I'm sure a lot of people have the same thing. When you finally stand up and you got your hands on your hips and you're staring at the TV, you're 3 feet from the TV, that's when it's on, right? You're like, okay, right. now I'm into it. I will say, and I'll talk about this in a little bit. A lot of people didn't finish it because it was the same old shit. It was like they just suck. They're just not getting it together, getting blown out by the Giants, for Christ's sake. As soon as they scored or whatever it was, and they got a little bit, and the door creaked open a little bit, I was like, okay, I think I need to wait this out. Now I was waiting it out. Because I was writing notes, because I was like, let me read you some of the notes I wrote. The Broncos are embarrassing. Peyton needs to go. Okay, those were notes that I scribbled on while I was watching the game. Quarters 1 through 3. Obviously, it turned out a little bit better than that. But they're not going to get away with that for much longer. The same thing happened with the Eagles, and we talked about this. It's almost like they lulled their opponents to sleep, and then they just said, "Hey, let's try to score some points." And then all of a sudden, the other team was like, "Oh, wait, we checked out. We checked out after the end of the third quarter. We're not playing anymore, guys." And it was like, "Oh, too late. We're playing." So that's not a sustainable strategy, let's just say, but very, very exciting to watch and very fun. And I think a lot of people were really thrilled by the outcome. Obviously, I just think it just doesn't bode well for future success, let's say.
I don't disagree with you, but I would say the same thing about what the Kansas City Chiefs did against the Raiders, right? Like the Chiefs have been a mid team, if you want to call them that. And then it was like, hey, you know what? Let's do a trick play. Nobody uses this play anymore by our good friends, Patrick Mahomes. Nobody's going to draw anybody off sides. The game stops being exciting when things start being predictable. And sure. I would say the Denver Broncos have been a lot less predictable than they have been in the past. And I will take a first place in the AFC West if I have to deal with just a little bit of churn.
Absolutely. You know what? It sounds ungrateful almost that I'm like, oh yeah, it kind of sucks. It doesn't speak well to their abilities. Compare that to, right after Manning left.
Yep.
Last 10 years, we could say even the last like 10, 11 years. Beggars can't be choosers, and we'll take this. This is great. This is good fun. At least we're having fun. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're complaining a lot, and a lot of people are calling them losers and things like that. But we're having a good time, and that's all that matters, right? So
yeah. No, and I think too, it's like I grew up in an era, John, and I think you grew up in an era where it didn't matter what the score was. I always believed the Broncos could come back and win. And I think over the course of the past decade, the amount of talent that they brought into this team has not made that a reality. And I think in the past 2 years, I'm going to put this out on the show. This is my new phrase, but you know what? You got to get Bo Nix down in the LBC, man. You got to get him down to let Bo cook. Not the Long Beach Crew, my friend. You got to let Bo cook, because I got to tell you, in that fourth quarter, when I don't feel like we were throwing screen passes and Sean Payton may have been drawing up all the plays, Bo Nix was fun to watch, and he let it rip.
I was trying to figure out how I knew the LBC. I was like, I know the LBC. How do I know that?
All the white people know where the LBC is if you're from the West Coast.
That's right. Exactly. Once you said it, I was like, oh yes, I remember now. You're absolutely correct. He really looked like he had handcuffs on. He was restrained. It just didn't look like he had anything. There's just nothing creative about it, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's running, he's doing this, he's making plays. I mean, did he run it all in the first 3 quarters? And then
very rarely.
And then he ran for 2 touchdowns. And everyone knows this if you paid attention. The first time any quarterback has thrown for 2 and ran for 2 in 1 quarter of play. Incredible, right? So if he can do that, why is he not doing it the whole game? I firmly believe that Sean Payton is holding him back, and he's like, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that. Let the guy run. He's a great runner. If he's got it, he'll take off, man. I mean, it was incredible to watch him run. That was so exciting. When he ran for the second one, I was just
incredible.
I was like, this is it. This is it. We've arrived. Which brings me to my next point. Despite the victory, Sean Payton still sucks. Vance Joseph still sucks, and I just don't know. It's almost like they were just like, they're like, well, nothing's working. We're lost the game. Just do whatever, Bo. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, you came back and you won because you just let him loose. So I would think that a smart person would go, you know what? There's something there. Maybe we need to do a little more of what we do in the fourth quarter in the rest of the damn game. But I don't think Sean Payton, I think his ego is too big, and I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll go, we got to stick to the plan. We got to do this. I guarantee you they're going to do that. They're going to do that in at least the first quarter or at least the first half of the game coming up. They'll stick to their same boring game plan because they think, nope, we got to stick to this. We got to get him on the thing. No, man, let him rip, do whatever. That's when those other guys. That's what they do with Jackson Dart, the Giants quarterback. They just let him rip. They're like, dude, go, just do your thing. If you got it, go. And that's what works. You got at some point you got to take the training wheels off, and I think they still have it on there for him. Which I just think that they're stuck with Sean Payton, and they've spent too much to get him, and he's an allegedly real experienced coach. So they're going to stick with him. So we're going to be stuck with him. Vance Joseph, another story. That defense looks fantastic in some ways, and then at times I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's like it's literally like they just fell asleep. Like they're just like, oh, we took this play off. Sorry. I don't know what that is other than coaching.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's a lot of truth to what you said. And I thought the same way while watching the game. It's kind of like, I just feel it, and these are just feelings. I don't have any stats and facts to back them up, but to your point, it's like vibes.
It's just vibes.
Yeah. It's just vibes, bro. It's just vibes, as the West Coast people say. I think what bothers me the most is you can see the potential in what Bo Nix has to offer, like in the fourth quarter, right? I mean, that guy's running, he's throwing the ball, he's throwing it cross arm. I mean, he's got talent, but you can feel that there's a hindrance there. But I would also say sometimes the best Broncos need to be bridled a little bit in order to reach their fullest potential. There are things that he's not super great at. And so you need some guidance and you need some coaching to get him there. So where do you find the balance between letting a future Peyton Manning be Peyton Manning, right? Like when he was in town, he called the shots. When do you let Bo take the shots? I don't know. I don't know when that is.
I think we're kind of in agreement that he is being held back. I think probably because they don't totally trust him yet, and they think, oh, if we keep him within the structure, he'll learn. He won't make any mistakes. If we let him out of the structure, he's going to start making mistakes. I just think that, like the very first game of the season, they marched down the field. They looked great. They got stopped. They kicked a field goal, and then the rest of the game, a little bit later, they came back. But after that, they looked horrible. I think they need to realize when he needs to get out of structure, and they need to say, okay, we've already come down here twice and we didn't get anything. Let him run around a little bit. Let's get this momentum, and then you can put him back in the structure. But Sean Payton, being a fucking egomaniac, won't let him do that because he's like, nope, you got to do it my way. And I just don't think that's going to work. So what I'm proposing is, and this will never happen because Sean Payton's such a dickhead. Trust me, I know people that hate him way more than I'm professing, but I know a lot of people can't stand him and they don't want anything to do with him, which is so odd that you'd be like, this is my favorite team, yet I fucking hate the coach so much. He's such a dick.
I would love to know the premise behind that, John, because I feel like we've had way worse coaches here in the past that I don't feel like got that hate that should have deserved it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Because they weren't assholes. He is an asshole. He's unpleasant. He's an unpleasant person, and he really rubs people the wrong way. Which I'm going to talk about another unpleasant coach a little later on. And no one will say it. No one will really say it because the Broncos have the control of the media in this town, much like certain politicians have control over the media these days. And if you step out of line, you're out. They will boot you, and you.
You're uninvited.
What's that?
You're uninvited from the.
You are uninvited to Dove Valley, and you won't get it. You won't get any more information out of them. They are that strict, and like people don't. Maybe they do realize this. Maybe it's like that with a lot of teams, but if you step out of line with the Broncos, they will make you pay for it. And no one's going to say Sean Payton's a dickhead, except for someone like myself. But he is. And, you saw the thing that Russell Wilson was upset about, right? Did you see that thing today?
So this is what I come back to. I mean, again, I don't know Sean Payton. I don't know the guy. I don't know the history between him and our good friend Russell Wilson. But when I read that tweet that he threw out, I'm like, this doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever.
Okay, Russ Wilson's a douchebag too. Don't get me wrong, but
so now you got comments flying in both directions. Who am I supposed to believe?
Okay, but Peyton has shown this before, because remember he made like a crazy he made a crazy comment about what was his name? He was the coach before that sucked really bad. The guy that was supposed to bring Rodgers in. I can't even think of his name. And so that guy went to the Jets, and then Peyton said a bunch of horrible stuff about him, and then like the Jets coach was got all pissed off, and I was like, everybody knows that guy sucked. He did a terrible job, but do you really have to say that? And
wait, was this the guy who liked feet?
No, that's Rex Ryan.
Yeah,
the guy who was remember the guy Nathaniel Hackett? Thank you. Yes, thank you. We've got
the asymptomatics coming in.
Thank you for chiming in. Nathaniel Hackett, and he was terrible. And so when he left and went to the Jets, Sean Payton said something about him, just being like a crappy coach or whatever. Maybe not by name, but he said something about that. And they were just oh my God. And they were all pissed off. And I was like, that's Sean Payton. He's just kind of a douche. So, he will never deviate from his plan unless it's to save his job, and his job's not in jeopardy because the Peeners have given him so much money and gave up so much to get him. So,
but Big Peener Energy got us 5-2, John.
Well, that is true. Probably not due to anything they did other than overpaying Sean Payton. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's see when they play the Chiefs.
No, yeah, I do think, to what you just said, I think the Chiefs game is going to be the litmus test. The Chiefs started off in a dumpster fire. All of a sudden, Taylor Swift releases her album. They start winning. There's a correlation in the Venn diagram with referees and what they're doing with the team that I feel like crosses the spectrum of quantum physics.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I do think the Chiefs game will definitely be the litmus test for the Broncos of, can they keep it close? Can they win? Or are they going to get blown out? I do think the Dallas game, though, coming up, and we'll talk about it later, is going to be more of a litmus test.
Oh, well, for sure. Well, we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, my good friend Tyler Q, he really wants me to shout out his beautiful Mammoths, the Utah Hockey Club, now known as the Utah Mammoth. Big rivalry with my Colorado Avalanche. They played last night, and no, Tyler, I'm not going to shout them out.
Wait, Utah has a hockey team?
Yeah, they got the Arizona Coyotes.
I've lost it in sports, John. I don't know who has teams anymore and who doesn't.
Well, we're going to talk about that, but yeah, the Mams were playing at home last night, and the Avalanche took them to OT, and the Avalanche still haven't lost in regulation. I don't know what the Mams record is, but they haven't lost in regulation. The Avalanche haven't. So I think I know who's better. And as I told Tyler this morning, that the Mams were super motivated to win because the owner of the team's like a young tech bro, and he was threatening to use AI in their practices to get them to play better, and they were like, "We don't want that. We're just going to go ahead and win the game tonight in OT, and so we don't have to use this guy's bullshit that nobody wants." So
this is where sports is going. Like, hey, you're not playing well enough. We're going to get AI involved.
That's right, and they would have got him there, and also 3 cups for the Avalanche. That's a big one too. The Mams have a long way to go before they get those 3 cups. I mean, they got 3 cups to go. So
I mean, if you've got the Mams going, don't you only got 2 cups? I mean,
right. D cups and C cups, preferably. Heyo. It's good stuff. The other thing is, did you see how Dre Greenlaw played his first game with the Broncos after being on IR, and then he immediately got suspended?
This is great, John. This is why I'm glad we don't talk before we do the show at all, because you completely ruined tonight's segment called John Reedy Hot Takes. I mean, we're just bringing back the same shit that I enjoy so much. Dre Greenlaw suspension. Like, wait, what the fuck? First of all, you talk shit to a ref who made a shitty call, and then that jackass ref throws a flag at you after the game ends, and you get suspended? This is some Chiefs level bullshit. It's
amazing. Well, was this part of your segment? Because maybe we should talk beforehand. You could say,
no. Let's just keep rolling. This is half the fun.
Well, listen, hey, Tyler, we've already moved on, and I don't. Yes, and I am now 1 cup. I'm now 1 cup deep, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. It's Wednesday night, Tyler. I'm not going crazy. So, go Mams. Hey, look, I like the Mams. I like the players on the Mams. I have a ton of them on my fantasy hockey teams, and they got me a lot of points the last couple games. So I'm happy to endorse the Mams when they're not playing the Avs. So anyway, Dre Greenlaw, yes. So
wait, before you continue, I too also appreciate the Mams.
Good.
Overall.
Hey-o. If I had easy access to my cheering, I'd hit that button for that one. So, but I'm trying to stay on top of these. I'm trying to stay on top of all these great comments we're getting from we're getting from the viewers.
This is great. 8 episodes in, we've.
There you go. Hello. Okay. Yeah. So Dre Greenlaw, was like yelling at him about the probably the stupid pass interference call that happened, right?
Yeah.
And so which was probably borderline. Like, you at that point, are you really gonna fucking call that? Especially on a ball that's kind of like, I don't know, it's like 6 feet away. Like, he's not going to be able to come back and get that ball. So
No.
you got to make that kind of that call on that of, well, okay, he's not going to be able to catch it. This contact, there was contact. So if that's what he was complaining about, because he had to have been, and I think he was basically saying, hey, fuck you, you made this terrible call, and now look at, we won. Now he's suspended. I appreciate the passion, though, and I think that anytime that anyone yells at a ref and tells them to eat shit, I think that's fantastic.
Big fans of the passion here, John.
Passion against refs, for sure.
Yes, especially in today's day and age, right? Like, how many times have we seen refs make ridiculous calls that, and I would say even, I saw an article today that when you look at how many games have been decided in the last 0.0 seconds of this year's NFL season, it's crazy. And so it's funny to me how one call can dramatically change the impact of a game. And yeah, throwing a red flag or throwing a yellow flag at somebody and then
tattletaling. Soccer isn't soccer, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. So much. What's my good friend from across the pond, Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso?
Yeah, Ted. I know how much you love Ted Lasso. But yeah, like, then you suspend a guy after the game. It doesn't make sense to me. Every other time this has happened in the league, it's been a fine. So why does Dre Greenlaw get a suspension? It's just,
I think it's because the game was over and he was like, kind of like, I mean, they're all going off the field, but I think he was kind of like chasing him. I don't know what he said to him, but I think
I've watched the clip 5 times, John. He didn't touch him. He didn't say anything. Maybe he said something.
Well, he said something.
He said something.
He said something. Yeah.
But when I leave work, if I say something to somebody after work, that's after work, my friend.
Yeah, you're still on the field. I didn't know you could throw a flag after the game was over. That didn't. Well,
that guy's kind of a tool for that. Like, that tells you what this kind of guy is. He's the kind of guy during HR training who will watch every second of how you don't get lost in a phishing email scan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's that guy. He doesn't just click through like the rest of us.
Listen, the refs, I understand they're doing a job. Sometimes they make mistakes, but they should get an earful. I know they do in hockey. I know that they get an earful sometimes, and I don't think they go as far as probably what he did in that, but you should be able to let them know that they're fucking full of shit and they're blind. Now, when I go play hockey, you say that to that guy, the guy that's the ref there, he'll kick your ass out. No problem. Like, I was complaining about calls one time, and I was like, oh, come on, like that, and they sent me to the box.
That was gonna be my question, John. I mean, I figured you're a spicy guy on the sidelines. When it comes to the refs, what happens with you?
I try to keep my mouth shut, and I would never like go after somebody like that, because I think there's just nothing. I mean, unless like somebody really hurt somebody and they just weren't, and they're just allowing it to happen. I think you
got to rephrase what you said there. Go after him. Like, he didn't go after him. He ran by him and was like, you made a shitty call. And it was like, yellow flag.
Me personally, I think they're just there doing a job. Unless they do something completely negligent, there's just no reason to, and especially because they'll send you to the box. So somebody just was like obviously like hooking people. Like, he was like had a stick, he was just pulling them, and I was like that guy just keeps hooking people. Like, that's all I said. I just said it out loud, and he's like, I've had enough of you, go. And I was like, oh man. So, so that's about as bad as I get, one time, my
Real
buddy John
controversial,
Manders,
John.
huh?
I said real controversial.
It's
Hey,
not
please
controversial.
stop making stupid calls. You're
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
there.
You like, you go like, you're like, oh my God, and then if you complain too long, they'll ring you up. But like, my buddy John Manders, he was standing up. Somebody was like, just running over us. And it was like, not even like fair. And he was standing up and he was like, kind of complaining about it loudly. Got kicked out for a season for that. So, but
entire season.
He was a bit of a repeat offender. Like he usually opened his mouth way too much, way more than I did. Anyway, so I hope he comes back and and he can contribute in the next game he plays in. So
you mean Manders or Greenlaw?
Both.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm waiting to play. I'm waiting to play again with Manders too, but I think he's back from his suspension. So we'll see if he's back. Both of them, yeah. So, but I did want to bring up. We were talking about this earlier. I said I'm going to watch this shit show. I'm going to watch this all the way through because I want to be able to complain about it when we do the show and say this is what's wrong with them. This is why they suck. Blah blah blah. So I sat and I watched the whole game. Now I had I had Red Zone on the laptop, but I was watching that on the big TV. To my surprise, the game turned out great. And I bet you people like turned it off and went about their Sunday business. People left the stadium. And as Bo Nix said, he's like, oh, I feel sorry for the people that left, because yes, they missed quite a finish. I just want to see what you thought about that. Cause I have a story about leaving the stadium early on a pretty momentous game, but do you fault people for, paying all that money, taking the time out, and then bailing out when they do, or even just turning off the TV and going to mow the lawn? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
That's a great question, John. No, I physically will leave a game if I've got a long drive home and I don't want to deal with the exodus of mass traffic. But I also use that as an opportunity to gauge the fan base, right? Like, oh, you're all leaving. Maybe this is when I stay. See, it's a joke. It's a trick. And then I stay and then they win. But no, I will say honestly, a Denver Bronco game, I would never leave. I have never left a Denver Bronco game in person until the final snap has happened.
Sure.
Padres games, different.
Okay, I was gonna say, because isn't that because you're traveling from out of state and you're like, well, shit, I'm just going to go back to my hotel and
getting every second out of that shit.
So here's the one I left. This is one of the last, and this is, I haven't been to a Bronco game in a long time. Tebow against the Bears, and they had that crazy comeback. You remember this game?
Yes, I do.
Crazy comeback. Like somebody like ran out of bounds or did something dumb on the Bears. And then Tebow brought them back. Now I was at that game and I had to leave because I had a prior engagement. And so I was like, I think I was with Snyder and I said, I got to go. I have to be there. I was taking the light rail. I said, I got to leave and everything. And of course, like they won the game before I even got back, to my car or wherever I was going. So I did regret that, but I wasn't leaving because I was like, oh, this sucks. Fuck them. I'm not going to leave. It was because I had to.
Right.
The other thing, and this isn't football related, this is hockey related. Snyder and I have gone to see the Avalanche play the Golden Knights in Las Vegas twice now. Okay.
Yeah.
First season of the Golden Knights, we went, and I think 2 or 3 seasons after we went back again.
Yeah, you guys went last year, didn't you?
No, it was the year before that, I think. But both times we've seen them, the Avalanche have gotten housed, just fucking ripped. Like we started out great. It's a real good, fun environment. You go there, right. It's really fun. They got a great show before it and everything like that. It's Las Vegas, they go crazy. And the Avalanche just proceeded to just shit the fucking ice, just drop the fucking a Trump load of plain diarrhea all over the ice. And like we're like, oh my God, this is terrible. So the first one we bailed because we just were like, fuck, I know it was like they were like losing like 6-2, and I was like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Right.
We went back a couple years later, same thing. Oh, let's go watch this game, whatever. Sure thing. They get fucking blown out, and we're just like, we got to get out of here. So now we're really afraid to go back. And he said, hey, we should go back and see their game. I said, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can handle that 3 times. I left those games early because I was like tired and probably half drunk, and I was like, no, this sucks. This isn't good. So
I have when it's not fun.
No, it's not fun at all. So I don't necessarily blame people for leaving when it's like that, and for good reason, man. They were losing 19-0 in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's not insurmountable. Apparently, it was not insurmountable, as we saw. But you might want to wait till like midway through the fourth quarter, and then if they're still down by like several scores, which I think they were, then maybe you could leave. But it's okay. It's okay, folks. Now you know that Mile High Magic is afoot, and
it is.
And Bo Nix will deliver, so you cannot leave early.
As I stated early, I don't know if you saw my Blue Sky reel, but there's a gentleman who looks a lot like a homeless Snyder, if you will. He's phenomenal. He makes
Snyder
fun
looks like a homeless Snyder.
Yeah, I know, but that's what makes this homeless Snyder even more homeless than Snyder. But the guy, he makes fun of the Broncos a lot, but I appreciated his most recent reel where it was like, hey, Broncos wake up in the fourth quarter in the trash bin. Bo Nix downs half a gallon of vodka, and then they win the football game. Let this be a lesson to everybody in Broncos country, like John just said. It's happening. Like, be down, whatever. If it's more than 33 points, leave. Less than 33 points, stay.
That's right. That's the bellwether, the way to measure it. So
yeah,
I think the saying is, I'll take this from the Tebow years: Mile High Magic is alive and Bo Nix is afoot. How about that?
It's very non-committal, and I love it, John.
It's taken from some old hippie thing, maybe even a Grateful Dead thing that I remember from a long time ago. But yeah, Mile High Magic is alive and Bo Nix is afoot. Speaking of the memes and the funny things that came out of this is the Giants fan that got bloodied in the streets of Denver. You know about this guy?
Missed this. How did I miss this?
You don't know about this?
No, I know nothing about this.
Oh, you got to see this. And this was used quite cleverly as like, as a Broncos thing, which I can explain. This guy was a Giants fan. He's a fucking total Benny from fucking Long Island or wherever he is. I learned the word Benny from one of my in-laws who lives in New Jersey.
What's a Benny?
A Benny's like an obnoxious New Yorker or a Northern Jersey person who comes down to the south, to the Jersey Shore, and is just a loudmouth prick. Okay. So this guy is that, and he's got his Giant shirt on. He's got his cross, of course, his cross pendant, and he's just like a little butt plug of a man. Okay. And he's walking from Union Station up 17th, and you probably know the area. And he's walking up the street, and they were having the No Kings protest going on that day. This was on Saturday, so there was a ton of people around there. Okay,
he's walking into it.
He walked through it, and he was taunting everyone, and he was flipping them off, and I think he was calling them all sorts of slurs and stuff, and he was having a great time. His buddies were laughing, and they were chanting something, and I didn't listen to the audio too much, but what you see is there's a kid, and he's got like kind of long hair, and he's got like a knit hat, and he's carrying a skateboard, and he's like with him chanting like for a little bit, and he comes around to the guy. You didn't see this. This is amazing. He comes around to the guy. The guy's wearing like prescription glasses that are like tinted, for sunlight. And the kid rips them off his face, and he takes off running back towards Union Station. And the guy goes, whoa. So of course, being like a fucking 58-year-old butt plug from Long Island, he takes off running, and he falls flat on his face right in the middle of the course. He goes boom like that. He gets up. And he keeps running some more. And as he's running back towards the sidewalk, somebody trips him, and he plows right into the curb. So now you've seen this from behind, okay? And so
Right.
somebody comes around with their phone, and someone's trying. They're trying to stop, and he's like pushing them off, and they're going, no, you got to stop. He's just bleeding, just like huge gash in his face, and he's just bleeding down the thing. Then he goes and he wades into the crowd, and pretty soon people start grabbing at him until this one big guy comes up, and he just says, "You got to get the fuck out of here. You got to go." And it probably went on longer than that, but anyway. The funny thing is, he was shooting his mouth off. And he ended up getting bloodied, and they were basically showing him like before when he's yelling, and then they had and then they showed him bloody later, and it was like the Giants before and after Bo Nix. So it worked perfectly. So
I do love what the asymptomatics just said in the chat. The private group chat has been insane since the Googats got worked on Broadway. I don't know what a Googats is. Probably not a good thing.
I think that's some Italian slur. I'm pretty sure. So yeah.
Well, as a white Italian man, I'm offended. And
but it wasn't on Broadway. It was on 17th and Wynkoop is where most of the action took place there. So yeah. That guy's great. He's a hero. Our friend Bronco Jeff sent me a picture. Somebody said they created a bronze statue and put it in the middle of the street, and it's just the guy with his butt in the air laying on the ground. And I was like, that's fucking great. So it's Italian slang for squash or pumpkin. He says, well,
a squashy pumpkin.
Yes. So
I love squashy pumpkins, as my wife knows, unless it's a pumpkin pie.
Not to disparage the Italians. I know your wife's very proud of her Italianness. But this gabagool shouldn't have shot his mouth off in the middle of Denver, especially wearing all that Giants crap, because then it just became a Giants thing. So that's like I'm wearing this Broncos championship shirt, and I went around and started calling people faggots or something, and then someone knocked me out, and then all you see is Bronco fan is a big douchebag, and now he's unconscious. You know what I mean? Everybody pissed off. Everybody pissed off at me.
I don't understand people who do this, right? And maybe this is a very weird angle for the camera to do this commentary, but John, I don't understand fans who go into other fans' arenas and they wear the garb of the team that they love, because you're asking for it, right? It's like you're putting your pride up. You're like, okay, fine, put your pride up, but if you get your ass knocked out, you got to own it, because you disrespected the other home that you were going into. I don't know. Maybe it's old school. I feel that way. I mean, I wore a Broncos jersey in the old Qualcomm, but it wasn't a hostile environment. Would I wear a Broncos jersey at Allegiant Stadium? No, because I don't trust those guys.
Well, you're right. It's fine to have that belief, and it's perfectly fine to wear that stuff at another stadium. It's just when you're an asshole, that's the problem.
When you act a fool.
Like I've been at plenty of Bronco games where there was other fans around us sitting there, and everybody was cool. Everyone's like giving each other shit. It's all pretty mellow. It's just when you cross that line, it's like, well, you're outnumbered, dude. So think about it that way. Now you've just stepped into a thing where if you get into it with somebody, you could be walking out and somebody else might take a crack at you that you don't even see coming. So the best thing to do is be cool and chill. Everybody always said, people that we know have said, oh yeah, I went to see Chiefs games and everyone was really cool. And I bet they are. I bet they're totally cool if you're white. and if you're white,
you like barbecue.
Cool, if you're white and you're cool, they're going to be fine. They'll feed you some sausages. But if you start acting like a fucking asshole, well, that might change, So it's totally fine to wear your shit when you go see another team in their barn, but just don't be a prick. Snyder and I wore Avs stuff, and the two times we saw the Avs get fucking smoked. And they were a fairly new team at that time, but they're pretty diehard. They love their Golden Knights there. I never ran in anything, but again, I wasn't being a prick. So,
it's very true. And I think people in Las Vegas have a lot more to pay attention to.
Say that one more time. I didn't catch that.
I was going to say, I think the people in Las Vegas have a lot more to pay attention to.
They do. Like the Raiders, so yeah, the Raiders, come on. So that's the thing about the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights are a homegrown team there, right? They started there. They gave everybody some thrills right off the bat. people love the fucking Golden Knights. So if you've ever been to Vegas, and I know you haven't been to Vegas in like years and years and years, and I don't think you plan on going ever in the future.
It's all false. There were
if,
selfies that I sent of me and Snyder together in a hotel room in a very classy place.
If you do go, you'll notice that they really love the Golden Knights, and when it's hockey season, the Golden Knights are on all the time, like they're always on. Raiders, people are like, it's the Raiders. It's cool.
Is it really that different out there? Like they love hockey, but like, the Raiders.
I don't even know if it's they love hockey so much as they love their team. You know what I mean? Like they're super behind their team, and that's their team because that's a homegrown team. That's not like the Coyotes became the Mams. You know what I mean? That's their team. They started out. They've been nothing but the Golden Knights, so they got behind them pretty hardcore. And the Raiders are like, well, Raiders have been Oakland, they've been LA, they've been everywhere. It's kind of like, all right, we'll take it because it's NFL, it's cool, but they're not quite. Raiders have a bigger fan base probably outside Las Vegas, I would imagine, right?
Oh, it's huge, especially out here in SoCal still, which is ridiculous to me.
And those guys make the drive to Las Vegas, so I don't know how it'd be so difficult for you to not make the drive.
Fucking idiots. That's why. John, they're fucking idiots.
So I was going to say about the New York douchebag.
Yes.
Nobody has any sympathy for that because he opened his mouth and he was taunting people and he was being a dick. So when he did fall flat on his face, people were like, hell yes, this is great. And then it didn't help him that he was a Giants fan and the Giants lost the way they did. So, but I was going to bring up my next point is I know you're a big Bill Belichick fan, and they had a thing where because he's been going through it, old Bill. He's really
poor Bill and his 21-year-old girlfriend who tells him what to do.
Yeah, he's got like a girlfriend that just got out of high school, and she's telling him what to do. And the thing is, like, I just saw a thing where, like, and I couldn't find, I didn't save it, but Greg Olson, who's a very good commentator, by the way, he was like, well, everyone's kicking Bill when he's down. And I was like, you know why? Because he's a fucking asshole. And when you're an asshole, people kick you when you're down. If you're a good person and you're down, people will lift you up and they'll say, hey, buddy, we love you. We want you to, blah, blah, blah. But if you're a bad guy, people are going to kick you when you're down. And that's all about. And if Bill hadn't treated everybody like shit, and if people didn't know he was an asshole, they wouldn't do that. Who was the coach that everybody loved? Dick Vermeil. Remember Dick Vermeil?
Oh God, yeah.
Everybody loved Dick Vermeil. They thought he was great. They always thought he was such a good guy. If something bad happened to Dick Vermeil, man, everybody would be there for him. But that's because he was a good guy. Bill Belichick, no, not a good guy. So he's gonna get a lot of shit, and people are gonna give him grief. So again, don't be a bad person and not be able to expect this poor treatment. Now, I don't think Bill gives a shit, but
no, he doesn't give a shit. Just like the owner of the Patriots likes to get HJs from certain massage parlors.
That's right, and that's why he's so sour on the Patriots, is because
I think he is. He's not getting the handouts that he get.
the hand-me-downs.
Sorry, I can't laugh at my own jokes.
He probably tried to go get a hand-me-down with Robert Kraft, and Robert was like, look, I make way more money than you do, and I'm not going to sit there and watch you get jacked off. That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah, Kraft's like, I got imports from China, but you know what? You're old enough. You may be able to get some homegrown talent. So, like, look after high school.
That's right. Yeah, stand outside the high school and just make some notes, and then after a little while, you might be able to
You'll be just fine.
Yeah, just tell her she can run all your be your agent and run your social media and everything like that. You just got to coach, Bill, and let the girl who hasn't even gotten through her junior year of college handle everything for you.
She's not even like, by most psychologists. Most psychologists say your brain is fully cooked at 25. I feel like that's
mature.
Yeah. Like, well, fully cooked. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I had to figure out your euphemism there.
Mature, fully cooked, whatever you want to call it. But it's like, oh, you chose that one who's going to be full of drama in your new career, in a new university. You're fucked.
Well, hey, Bill's probably full of drama. So I mean, he thought this is great. is like, it was like, yes, I could be your grandfather, but I'm just as much of a messy bitch as she is. So fucking hallelujah.
But do you see Bill Belichick? Like, this is the weird thing about him. He's got no emotion, like zero.
But that's his persona. I think when people have said, "Oh yeah, he's really kind of like, he's pretty funny and blah blah blah," I think he's probably like probably pretty dry wit,
I'll take dry wit, but I mean like zero personality. Like, look at every interview he's done. I mean, he gets a little spicy once in a while, but
we've spent way too much time talking about Bill and his.
God, we've got 9 minutes to talk
about his old gray dick, which I just can't imagine that thing still works normally. It can't. There's no way.
It's a 9-minute segment on its own.
I was going to say real quick before we get into this next week's game, which is very exciting. I did give the Apple Sports app a whirl.
What'd you think?
I think it's great. Now I have a couple suggestions for it, but I will say it's really good because if you set the alerts, like, I have it set for like the Broncos. It's spot on, man. Like when I was watching the game, I saw like my phone light up and it would say end of third. And then it was just like, it was boom, end of third. Like it's right there with it. So it's very up to date. It's very quick. I liked it a lot. It's very sleek. You can check scores. It looks good. The only thing that I have a problem with is it doesn't, and especially for football, it's very hard to find out who scored. You have to go through a couple different things to find out who scored. Whereas like on the Yahoo one, the Yahoo one's got a bunch of crap to it now that sucks, and it's like trying to get you to watch video, and it's got it's got like chats, and it's like I don't need that. I'll never chat with any of these fucking mutants on here.
Just want the score.
Yeah, just give me the fucking score and tell me who scored. That's what I want to know. So with hockey, it's very important to like go, okay, I need to see who got the goal, but I also need to see who assisted for fantasy purposes, right? And so you want to see, okay, so-and-so got the goal assisted by so-and-so. It doesn't do that very well. Like you have to go through a couple things. Like for hockey, it'll tell you like who scored, but then it doesn't, you have to go through a couple things to get assists. Anyway, it's nice. It's sleek. It's good. I think when the games are going on, I will leave that on for sure.
I will tell you there's an update coming out, and I don't know if it came out today or if it's coming out later this week, but they are going to focus on scoring drives, to your point.
Okay.
But I think that's primarily for football. I could be wrong. But the Apple Scores app primarily focuses on the league that's in play most at the moment. So if you're looking for that kind of granularity like you're talking about, I think, they're going to address it. But don't expect it in like other sports until those sports become online.
It's fine. Just talk to whoever you know over there. Tell them my gripes and tell them to get on that to fix it real quick. So.
Yeah, Cookie Boy and I are on. That's what I call him in the chat. Cookie Boy.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Tim Cookie Boy.
I just for hockey, I need to know who all was involved with the goal.
I'll talk to Eddie Q. I'll make it happen.
Thanks, appreciate that. So hey, let's do this. Let's get the next game going real quick.
5-minute recap.
It's gonna be a good one. Dallas Cowboys at Denver. Denver is favored by 3 points, which is kind of a wash at home, right? And the over-under is 50.5 points. Don't take the bait, people. Don't take the bait. We've said this the whole time. All these games have been low, low, low. We've been well under these unders, right? Except for 2 games now. The one last week and the one against the Colts. Now the under just shot back up 10 more points. Don't take the bait. Take that under. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game, and I think that the Broncos should win by at least 3 points. Captain, what are your thoughts?
John, good prediction. I really thought this episode was going to be you and me hating each other, but I do feel like I agree with you. This is going to be a shootout. I do think it's going to be over the 50 points.
Wow.
I think it's going to be 30-27. I just think there's too much going on with the Broncos offense and the Dallas defense. There's not a lot of meshing up with these teams. They're both good in opposite ends of the spectrum. it's going to be interesting, but I do think the Broncos will win out. I mean, they're at home, for God's sake.
I think they will too. They should. If they don't, then we're back to the same discussion we had before about if they don't beat the Jets, it's all over, right? And but
every game is all over, John.
Well, here's the deal. Defense is supposed to be great, but we talked about they'll just inexplicably give up some crazy plays. Dallas is pretty good offensively, not good defensively. So the Broncos should be able to make some ground, but I think the Cowboys offense is gonna score some points. So I still think 50 is a big number. I think that's a high number for this. I think that's how they hook you. They go, oh, the Broncos, they scored, that game was like 60 some points. That's, of course they're going to score this, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be one of those things. It's going to be a little tight. It's going to be some scoring, but I just don't think they're not going to go crazy. But
no, I also don't think I think Denver's going to take more time. Maybe I could be wrong, but I will say Denver will take more time with the ball this go around because Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys score fast. And so the more times you put Broncos behind the control of the ball is better. So long holding times by the Broncos, I think, will lead to success.
Javonte Williams revenge
comeback tour
is a revenge game. What do you think? 2 touchdowns?
I mean, he's good. I mean, he was good before he left the Broncos. And if he wants a revenge game, good on him. But I do think the Dallas Cowboys offensive line is not going to be enough of a stop for the defensive D-line. I just think the defense is too good. They've had their moments. They give up big plays. But I think overall, when you look at how much the Broncos have held star rushing players, I guess is if you want to call it that, to minimal yardage. Backs. Yeah, running backs. They're phenomenal. So I'm sorry, Javonte.
I think I'm gonna do the Javonte 2 touchdown bet this week. I'm gonna say he's gonna get 2 touchdowns because I think they're gonna hold the receivers down. I don't think the receivers are gonna get much. They're gonna have to run the ball. And Javonte, as every ex-Bronco does, they go crazy against the Broncos. It's some sort of thing in the.
Why are they so mad?
I don't know. I don't understand. Like people leave here, even in other sports, they leave here and they're just so bitter. They like lash out at the fans. I'm like, dude, go do your thing. So I don't think I haven't heard anything that he's like that. No, I haven't heard him say anything negative. I'm sure he'll have nothing but positive, but he wants to fucking score. So I might do a 2 touchdown Javonte bet on that one. So
well, just be careful. Russell Wilson, how many touchdowns is he going to get against the Broncos? I mean, he throws them out in tweets.
Well, he didn't get any on Sunday because he wasn't playing and there was no way he was going to play. So
Russell Wilson.
Poor Russ. Anyway, hey, I just want to close with 2 things. The one thing is, I know you're not a huge basketball fan, but no. My Denver Nuggets are starting to play tomorrow night.
Very excited.
And I would just say that to you and anybody else who's just like, I'm not really into basketball, you have to watch Nikola Jokic. You have to watch him play. Just watch him for a game. Just watch him play.
No, I know he's a big, massive dude. He just makes shit happen.
It's not awesome. It's not even as massive. He is a big, massive, hulking dude, but he makes the craziest plays. He does the craziest stuff. It's poetry to watch him. So if you've never watched him before, I'm saying please just watch a game or watch some highlights of him. He will blow your mind. He's so awesome. Tomorrow night they start.
Okay.
Not sure.
No, but they've already been playing. I've already been getting scores.
They haven't played. They haven't.
Am I getting preseason scores?
Probably. The season started like 2 nights ago, but they haven't played. They don't play tomorrow night, their first game. So they're going to be great. And I would just say, even if you don't like basketball, watch him. You'll like what you see. The other thing, and I'll let you bring it home. It's starting to get cold here. I mean, I know you don't experience the weather where you are. It's getting cold here. I had my sprinklers blown out today. I've weatherized the swamp coolers. You have to do all these things in a cold weather climate.
What happens when a sprinkler gets blown out? Like what does that entail?
You don't know. You never had to do it. I get it. Yeah.
No, I'm in SoCal. Like if I have weeds, but like. What's a PVC pipe getting blown out look like?
You have to hook up a compressor to the manifold, and you have to blow air through it, and each zone has to blow all the air out, the water out. So if it doesn't, then you'll break your pipes, right? Because the ground freezes. And then most oftentimes the top will freeze. So when you turn the sprinklers on the spring, it's a big fountain comes out of the ground if it's not done properly. So that has to be done every year. Anyway, that's a bummer, right? It sucks. It's like,
Such a bummer.
Winter's coming. It sucks. But I will say, looking forward to football and hockey and other sports too, that you're like, I can't go outside because it sucks. I've got this to look forward to. Thursday night rolls around. I'm like, football game on. Sunday rolls around, more football. It's a comforting thing as the weather turns and you start getting kind of bummed out because you're like, here comes the winter again. You know, I know you don't know anything about that, but yeah, I know. So, but for me, it's a comfort to know that football is there for me. So
I'm glad you got a sports seasonal change. I need more of a reasonal exchange to tell my wife why I don't need to do shit. So sports is the only thing I have. So it's like, oh, hey, I can't go to the thing. Broncos are playing at 1. So the more excuses you give me, hey, mams, I'm all in on the mams.
You got the mams now, huh?
Put them in my mouth.
Oh, those mams. Just say this. Just say, oh, I gotta blow the sprinklers out.
She's gonna go
sprinklers. She's gonna go.
Love that one.
She's gonna go. Okay, and maybe she won't realize that you've never had to blow the sprinklers out because it doesn't get that cold, right?
John, that's the best ending line of all time.
I like that. Yeah, it's good. Are we good? Did you have more? I forgot.
No, blow the sprinkler line on her chest. Let it go.
All right, we'll get out of here. Let me. Oh shit! Wrong mouse. I got other mouse. I'm touching different mice.
Touching tails.
A lot of mice here. Hey, yeah. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna cue up the tunes. Good. We got a great show. Great game to talk about, and hopefully another great game to talk about next week. So, it's good times. Thanks, Captain. For me and the captain, this has been the Broncos Booze Up. Until next time, adios. It was a